Well, morena koto. Good morning, everyone. Ngā mihi, Michelle and Craig. Thank you. What powerful messages on the importance of empathetic leadership. So, a show of hands. How many people here this morning have been to one of the Good George brew houses? Okay, they've put a lot of them up the very back, but no, it's great to see you. These are great bars up and down the country. I'm very lucky. I've got one right around the corner from me in home base at Mission Bay. But this time a year ago, Good George, like so many hospitality venues around the country, was facing a crisis. And COVID had the potential to literally close the door on their business. And so the guys at Good George had some pretty important questions to ask. How are we going to get our customers back? How are we going to keep them safe? And indeed, how can we perhaps even break out from the crowd a bit in what is a very crowded hospitality market? Well, they came up with an idea. Their idea was, as we moved into level 2, glass houses for people at their pubs, at their bars. And an idea that was hatched in the morning. The very next day, we've got it just around the corner here in the Wynyard Quarter, we had glass houses. And it meant that customers were able to come back, probably have a very well-deserved beverage in level 2. They were able to do it safely within the bubble. And actually, it was pretty handy for the brand as well. So, Good George, there were over 780,000 workplace social media views on this innovation. It's an innovation that not just helped Good George survive, but thrive as we came down the lockdown levels. So, it is great to see you at this Silver Linings Conference. A wonderful opportunity to celebrate the amazing things that we have achieved together over the last 12 months. And Silver Linings absolutely captures what I believe, that notwithstanding enormous challenge, there has been huge opportunity and learnings from our shared COVID experience. In my role as Chief Customer Officer at the BNZ, our teams look after over 1 million retail customers and 300,000 small and medium businesses, just like Good George, which has allowed our teams to see firsthand the grit, the determination that has given rise to 2 silver linings that I wanted to talk about this morning. 1, innovation, and 2, connectivity. Innovation and connectivity, they've always been important, but COVID has presented us with a step change opportunity. So, let's turn first to innovation. Some of the most telling stories from COVID come from our small and medium-sized businesses. And every one of our customers has a story to tell about how they've had to adapt, adjust, and respond so quickly to supply chain challenges, labour shortages, closed borders and doors. If anyone here has had a tomato recently, probably, chances are you've had your tomato from NZ Hothouse. Now, NZ Hothouse is one of New Zealand's leading providers of tomatoes and cucumbers. And if you head down to their Karaka or Bombay site, now they take glass houses to a new level. These are football field style glass houses. But again, through COVID, Brett Wharf and the founder and the team from NZ Hothouse was facing an enormous challenge, this time more to do with labour shortages. And that leadership team had to act fast. And what they did is they've automated significant parts of their processes in both the pack houses and the glass houses. And it has driven significant productivity improvement in that business. And now, as we fast forward to today, innovation continues. They are partnering with industry bodies. They're actually working with one of the sponsors of this conference in Callaghan Innovation to do research on robotics that's going to help pick tomatoes off a vine that much more efficiently. Now, these inspiring stories of innovation from Kiwi businesses also provide us a reminder about where innovation really comes from. It's not from allocating more time, more money. Quite the contrary. Innovation comes from constraints. It was when Good George was faced with seemingly insurmountable challenge, completely unreasonable time deadlines, that they were forced to be at their most creative. And it's also a reminder that where do these ideas come from? They're not coming typically from the executive table. And Craig mentioned this. These are coming from within the organisation and indeed our customers. In addition to the glass houses, the guys at Good George, they figured out, well, we've got a shortage in this country of hand sanitizer. And another ingenious idea, let's convert that gin distillery, a bunch of ethanol, let's get that to be made for hand sanitizer for our venues. And they also gave it away to members of the community. Now, that idea came from a more junior member of the team. And when I was speaking to Jason Macklow, the co-founder there, his quote really resonated. You have to really, really listen to hear the goodness. And so, what a silver lining we would have been given if COVID has helped us truly build a more creative and innovative business community. So let's embrace our constraints and leverage the diverse workforce that we have to build a more innovative and sustainable economy and society. So the second silver lining I wanted to discuss relates to connectivity. And the irony is, when we all moved into COVID lockdown, we've actually been more connected than ever. At BNZ, overnight, we had 100% of our more than 6,000 colleagues working from home, working hard to continue to support customers. And in the 6 months from lockdown to September, we literally ran a bank from kitchen tables, lounge rooms and garages all around the country. But rather than feel the distance, in so many ways we were more connected than ever. We met each other's pets. We had to pause meetings every now and then as children were running amok in the back of the Zoom call. One of the flatmates ran across the screen. We got a window into our personal lives. We saw it warts and all, and we celebrated it. I've lived in both Australia, if the accent hasn't just showed already, and the US. And Zoom calls with friends and family overseas are just a regular feature of what happens in our household now. We also saw that businesses had to embrace technology if they were going to stay connected with their customers. Down in the Waikato, there's a great bakery, Volatile Bakery, and like most bakeries we'd think of, the only way you get bread pre-COVID is walk in there and ask for it. Now, lockdowns changed that pretty quickly. And so the guys down at Volatile, in the space of just a couple of days, got themselves online with an ability to sell e-commerce, online distribution, and they had delivery vans getting bread to people's doors down in the Waikato. Now, this is another one of these innovations that changed the mindset and is now a regular feature of Volatile's core business, one of their growing parts of their business. And we've all got a benefit here in this room because it's actually the move into digital distribution that's going to mean that Volatile bread, we're going to be able to have some of this coming very soon to Auckland as part of their expanding distribution. COVID has also helped shift mindsets in relation to technology. Angie Samuels is the founder of a company called StoreLink. StoreLink's got about 450 employees around the country. Their people are the ones that oftentimes are the ones packing shelves in the major retailers. They're the ones behind the scenes in the pack and saves and so forth, putting the goods on shelves. And in the past at StoreLink, the managers felt it was absolutely the only way they could train people was to do it face-to-face. Well, again, COVID changed that, and there was just an inability to meet face-to-face. And so Angie partnered with a technology company to introduce a virtual form of training to all of the people in that team. And now, fast forward, not only are the people at StoreLink receiving a better training experience, the managers are loving it. They're saying, wow, this is great, and I've got more time to focus on other parts of my leadership. Andy said, now we've got a more consistent way of delivering and consistently improving our training delivery. And probably culturally, this mindset shift in terms of the role of technology, she says, the next time we want to innovate, our organisation is going to be far more open to embracing the benefits that technology can bring. Now, not only does embracing technology benefit so many of our businesses and their customers, this is also the pathway to a more productive and sustainable New Zealand. We've done a bunch of research at the BNZ, which shows what we know intuitively. So much of the economic performance that we've seen over the last 10 years has been propped up by housing. But we need real productivity improvement if we're going to enhance living standards and make things better for more people. And so it is by embracing technology and digital, like they've done at NZ Hothouse, Volare, and StoreLink. That is the key to unlocking so much of this productivity potential and providing more opportunities for more people. But without effort to support New Zealanders on embracing technology, helping people get more comfortable using it, then we really we run the risk of missing that potential. Which just leads me finally to a few words of caution. Because while there are clear COVID silver linings, there are challenges, obviously, that still we face. While the overall economic recovery from COVID clearly has been very strong, averages are dangerous. We need to keep remembering this. While we've got a housing and construction boom in many sectors, most notably in regional tourism, are really struggling, and we need to be mindful of this to make sure the right support continues to go to the various sectors of the economy. Second, while being flexible and more connected digitally has benefited most, again, averages can be really misleading. At BNZ, 20% of our people, that's a significant minority, actually told us they felt less connected and less productive when working remotely. So we've clearly learnt that one size does not fit all. And it requires constant communication with your teams, and clearly a really important role remains for that in-person, face-to-face communication, those spontaneous hallway conversations in building a really healthy organisation culture. And thirdly, look, as we embrace technology, it is so important that we are supporting our more vulnerable members of the community in that transition. As an example, at BNZ, obviously when we were in lockdown, we had a more limited access to services. And one of the things we experimented with was a dedicated phone line in our contact centres for people over 70 years of age, and there were specially trained BNZers who were able to spend more time and educating and supporting, getting people more confident online and all the different ways they could do their banking. Well, this experiment was successful beyond all of our expectations, and now is another example of just a thing which we do as part of how we just do business at BNZ to help that transition. So, yes, challenges remain, but I do absolutely believe the future is bright. Innovation and connection provide wonderful opportunities for New Zealand, and it will be the combination of thousands of acts of innovation and connection every day by businesses and individuals that will add up into something transformative. COVID-19 has impacted all of us, but it's also demonstrated when an entire country, or indeed an entire planet, galvanises on a big issue, we can do quite incredible things. And I would hope that would give us confidence as we face into the other big global challenges of our time, that we've got this: climate change, inequality. So we have a wonderful opportunity to build a more innovative, a more connected, sustainable and inclusive New Zealand. Let's grab that with both hands. Thank you very much.